We're going to jump right into the pool and discuss Avatar: The Way of Water. This is a movie you have more than likely heard of. I heard it made some money. We did care about it, and we're here to talk about it in all its glory. Long form video where we discuss everything that we really cared about with Avatar, all the little details and all the big stuff that we really liked. And you can just kind of listen along to this if you're looking to just kind of vibe out with a couple people. This is that video. What did we think of Avatar: The Way of Water?
I thought it was dope. I love water. It's like a weird thing of mine. I just love a great water action sequence. And guys, this movie has 2.5 hours of it, and it's great. I was all in.
I was also all in. I've been all in for 13 years. I've been waiting. It is my favorite movie of the year. I've seen it twice so far in IMAX, and I thought it was incredible.
Yeah, basically agree. I thought this movie was awesome. I loved every minute of it pretty much, even though it is kind of lengthy because it's 3 hours. I don't really care. It was kind of awesome. And my favorite part about it was it kind of goes a little bit back into that Terminator 2 action near the end. And I did not really think we would ever get that again from James Cameron, even though James Cameron is obviously a really great filmmaker and takes his time with movies. I just never thought we were going to get back into that insane Terminator 2 style. I don't feel crazy saying he did it because he did. And it just happened to be an Avatar movie instead. And I loved it.
We revisited the first one not long ago, and I was just really blown away by like the scope and the spectacle of it, which is obviously why you go. And watching this one, I was like, he could make 5 of these. I'm there. Watching this movie the whole time, I was like, I really wish I was high. Like,
Yes,
it is the prettiest damn shit I have ever seen, and it's beautiful, really. And he did it. I don't know how he did it, because just think, this is not a real place. How did he do it? But he did it, and quite well, actually.
When I saw it again the second time, I kept staring at the Navi. First time I was taken over by the spectacle of the entire thing, but by the second time I was staring at all the little things, and I don't know how someone does this. I don't know how a computer does this. I don't know, because it just looks like they went to a different planet and they filmed like a nature documentary and like a war documentary at the same time, and it's unbelievable. I don't. It's the best CGI I've ever seen in my life.
Example I keep going back to is Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio. Like, that movie
Oh,
came out like 4 months ago and it looks like shit. And here's Avatar. Like, come on. There's a reason why he held off on it for 13 years. It's because it looks just immaculate.
And the cool part about it is people still are going to be like, that didn't look good. Like, I've seen that a lot on Twitter, and I'm just like, what are we doing here? Let's just have a good time. It looks pretty good. Like, I mean, really.
I can see the money.
yeah, exactly.
I really can. My eyes were focused on one/multiple things. Looking back on it, I'm like, should my eyes have been in other places as well? Because like when you're sitting in an IMAX, it's just so much to take in. But especially in this, where like the world is so rich in detail, it's unbelievable.
And the middle part where they just kind of chill and just hang out in the water with all the whales and stuff.
Oh my god.
There's just so many things where you're just like, I want to be in water right now, and I feel like I kind of am, just because of the way the movie is shot and it looks, especially those shots where you're kind of in between the water and the surface, and you kind of get that kind of eyeline view where it just looks incredible, where you're like, that's literally water. And it looks like that on the below surface and everything, and you see the sky along with it. It's just like, I haven't seen that in a movie.
It is a world that I just really wish I could be there. And like, I mean, maybe not like in the middle of the action. I would like to just sit off on a private island or something and just stare at it, But like, it just looks very pretty. I don't know. I just wanted to touch it. Like, it sounds so stupid, but it was.
The same way in the first movie when he shows you a world that's like unbelievable, and you're like, oh my gosh, like look at those leaves, look at those trees, look at these animals, this is unbelievable. It's the exact same thing, but it's in water. So he still built another world. It's just in the same world, just underwater. You're like, oh my god, look at all that coral, look at all those fish, look at that water. Look at those whales. It's unbelievable.
It's like the way that they use like lights in this movie
Oh.
too, like
Mhm.
especially the what part where Sigourney Weaver's character goes inside of the whale thing, and you just kind of see it like this like crazy. I don't even know what, but it
Mhm.
was like something that's like spiritual, where you're just like, what,
Yeah.
dude, this looks insane.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself like every time they went underwater, I was staring at all the little fish, and I was like, I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen that before. And it just I kept waiting to see the same fish, and I never did. It's an unbelievable world that he like puts you down into, and it's extra wet.
Sure is. He has 5 of these plans.
Yeah, and he just said today that he's definitely doing the other 3.
All right, cool. The thing is, like, as long as he can keep like giving us or just showing us new parts of Pandora, I'm in. You know, like just that's it's a tall order, but like he's done it twice, and it's been breathtaking.
The way that the movie kind of ends, and the way that Jake Sully kind of monologues at the end, where it's like, "This is where I belong. I found my people," kind of thing. It's just the way they set it up, where he was clearly looking at all the water stuff. It made it pretty obvious to me that it was like, okay, so they're going somewhere else next.
Yes,
and,
I know.
and he's going to do the same thing in third, which isn't a bad thing to me
Mhm.
because of the experiences I've had from the first two. I'm looking forward to it because it's
Mhm.
like, hey, he's done it twice really good, and now we're going to get a whole another location where they're going to do the same kind of exploring thing. And evidently, it's going to be fire, which I had
Yeah.
predicted
Hell
after
yeah, it
coming
is.
out of the theater, believe it or not. It was just kind of funny that he said that, whether or not that's true.
Mhm.
He did say it yesterday, but and then it's kind of funny that, Avatar Airbender thing, the Fire Nation,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
reasonable silliness, but
Yeah,
I don't care. I was wanting fire regardless.
I was too. I would like to see the imagery of it. I mean,
I need
what-
volcanoes,
Yes. Oh my
molten
God.
lava, and it'll look
That's
really
great.
good in IMAX.
It sure will.
And then they'll have the juxtaposition of the red versus the blue. It'll
Mhm.
just be a feast for the eyes.
It
Yeah.
sure will.
In the second movie, the fire that they have at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning when they raise like the land, like they completely destroy it with fire. That's unbelievable. That is where even in the theater, I was like Terminator 2. I was like, it looked just like that. It reminded me so much of Terminator 2.
It should be said, you don't go to an Avatar movie for the dialogue or the plot. I mean, they're there. That's fine.
Mhm.
It's just experience it. Like just let it wash over you.
But also
Like
at the same time,
water.
I did like water. Yes. But also, I did think that the plot was actually pretty good in this one. Like, I thought it was good in the first one, but I get people's critiques.
Mhm.
But I really liked what they did with the villain. I know it's kind of like dumb that they used the same villain again.
I do too.
But I thought it was really cool because it gave
Mhm.
them an opportunity to just flip it and be
Mhm.
like, oh, well, he's a Navi now, actually, through this Avatar process. And I thought they did a really good job of setting up the exposition on how that could have possibly happened. It was just like really simple, like, hey,
Almost
this happened.
It's almost like Terminator 2 when it's like it's the same thing, but now it's stronger and better in every way,
Yeah,
and it's coming
right.
back to fight you again, and they have to explain how it comes back.
Yeah.
It's I mean, he is the absolute master of
And the way they do the like video diary, and he's like, I'm not gonna die,
that.
but if I do, they put in my stuff so that I could come back as
Set
a
you
blue
up.
thing.
Yeah. And it's awesome because we saw this opening night with like a giant crowd and a full theater and all those moments. A lot of people say James Cameron's not funny, but there was enough times in that where the whole crowd was laughing at jokes like that, and the kids have some jokes later on that are all right, that are kind of funny. The people were laughing. This movie, it's got it all. I've said that since the beginning. It's got everything.
Yeah, he says, "Why so blue?"
I
Why
want to
so blue?
talk about Stephen Lang because I thought he was wonderful. I was just gonna say, in terms of the plot, there was one beat that I thought was just a little too similar to the first one, but it leads into
What beat?
the whales slash the tree and knocking down the forest.
Yeah, but it's different though.
It is. It's not as catastrophic, but it just felt a
Plays
little
the same
too.
music.
But
It does play the same music.
But then also it's like a whale, like obviously trees are living things too, but whales are like more visibly living things just because they're animals, I guess, which is kind of maybe a dumb thing to say, but like
It's a step up.
because it made it kind of more like human element, whereas it's still an alien interacting with an alien whale, but like it kind of made it more human than the spiritualness of Navi interacting with a tree.
I suppose that's true.
Which I mean is good. I like the spiritual aspect of the first one, but at the same time, it is sort of different because it's like a living thing that kind of exists in the same way that they do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I feel it. I would just say it seemed. I felt like I was having deja vu, but I excused it because the last hour is just awesome. I mean, come on, like it's dope.
With the Stephen Lang thing, in the first movie, the standout to me and to everyone that rewatches it is Zoe Saldana as like Neytiri. But in this one, it seems like she's more on the back burner. Stephen Lang really steps up to the plate, and he is having a great time just being an absolute menace and a mean guy. It's really fun to watch.
But then, even with the like, oh well, he's just being an obvious bad guy, like the first one where some people kind of complain. In this one, they kind of get him a chance to kind of reverse it at the end and have like a really good arc.
Yeah, and then there's like emotion.
Yeah, and then you're like, damn. Works to the benefit that he kind of comes off as this like obvious character or whatever to some people, and he just because you're not thinking there's no way this guy flips in any way. He's just gonna continue to just be like, yeah, them all to death.
Yeah.
But then he, once his son, who doesn't even really care for him at all, is about to die. Yeah, Spider is the goat, by the way.
Yeah.
But
I like Spider.
Yeah, Neytiri is about to kill him, and he saves him basically for a little bit. And Spider is kind of like questioning, well, shit, she actually might kill me or whatever, and I'm totally on their side. So it kind of gets a little bit flipped and everything. And I thought that was a really like heavy moment, and particularly for Stephen Lang's character, which he ends up getting saved kind of because of that. And I thought that was kind of cool little moment because I mean. Yeah, he's a bad guy, so he probably should have died. But at the same time, he did show a little bit of growth there, and it makes sense for his son to understand that.
I found him more watchable in this movie. Like I don't know, I feel like he's doing a lot, and I enjoyed everything he was doing. And I assume he's in the third one.
I would think he survives.
I'm there. I mean, I was there regardless, but I really enjoyed his performance.
He's gonna team up with the Fire Navi and bring it back to fight again.
This guy just needs like to chill. Like honestly,
he can't.
I know, I know he won't. But yeah, no, the Neytiri. I didn't realize how great she was until the last time I watched it. She is kind of sidelined in this movie, but at the same time, there's a lot going on.
Oh my god!
Like she is sidelined, and I did want some more of her. But once you get her parts, you're just like, holy crap. Yeah. Why do we not act like this character is awesome and important in movie history? Like, I mean, and hopefully the narrative kind of shifts on that a little bit more. She deserves way more credit for her performance, and that character is just so awesome, just in the way that it presents the emotional aspect of the mother and the lover kind of thing from the first movie and just everything. It's awesome, and it comes to a crazy high at the end of this where she just goes absolutely nanners.
She'll get mom mode.
Yeah, she does. It's dope. She'll get more to do in part 3.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of stuff that's like introduced in this movie that I think should be pretty intriguing in the third one, such as the pretty kooky concept behind Sigourney Weaver's character. What the hell is going on there? I would like to know. And I guess we'll find out, maybe, hopefully.
And I think the action in this one was just slightly better. I know it's kind of hard to say because the first one had a bunch of crazy stuff, but this one starts in the first like 15 minutes. There's a train crash.
Oh, that was awesome.
And during it, I was just like blown to the back of my seat, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He shoots it I know it's a giant train, but he makes it look even bigger. I don't even know how to explain it.
People acted like from the early stuff I obviously saw it like on Thursday, so it wasn't too many early stuff. But I was reading a little blurbs here and there, nothing crazy. But people acted like the first 40 minutes was kind of slow, is what I had heard. But then when I got there, I was like, no,
I don't
It's
think so.
faster
But,
than
like-
it's like 3 times faster than the first movie.
yeah. And then I like really enjoyed the stuff where the bad guys from the first movie came back as Navi, and they were kind of hunting, all the Navi,
Mhm.
but like
Yeah.
namely Neytiri and Jake Sully and the kids and stuff. And you kind of saw Neytiri kind of hide behind these trees with the bows and arrows, and the way it looked like in IMAX behind your glasses, I literally felt like I was in a Rambo movie.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm in a Rambo movie, but there's these big blue aliens, and it just looks really good because they're big, blue, and it's on my screen, and you got the beautiful foliage and everything while you're watching a literal war movie, and you feel like you're in a war.
Yeah.
And like Trevor was saying, with like the war documentary, kind of feel a little bit in parts of this movie, more towards the end when they do that kind of stuff on the boat in the
Mhm.
water. It
Oh,
looks like
okay.
you're in like a naval battle, but
Yeah.
like on a completely
It's
different
so
planet,
cool.
which made it like fit the movie really good. I just like the way they kind of shot. And some of it kind of looked, didn't it kind of look like light brown at one point? Kind of,
Mhm.
yeah. And it
Yeah.
kind of just makes it obvious that that's what they're going for. Which
Mhm.
and it looked awesome.
How did he do it? It's the thing.
I
Like
don't know.
I have no idea.
And seeing the behind the scenes photos of how they made this movie, and it's like in a warehouse with like a giant camera, and they have dots all over their body, and they're just like in a warehouse. There's like nothing around them except for each other, and they're just playing off each other. And then in the movie, they're giant blue aliens, and they're surrounded in this giant world, and it looks immaculate. And I don't know how he did it. I don't know how this technology exists. I don't know. I don't know when he signed his contract to the devil or whatever, but it's paying off. He already said, the fourth and fifth one are going to be unbelievable. He hasn't said a lot about the third one, but he said the fourth and fifth one's going to be unbelievable. And so I guess the third one's going to be like more ramping up. But even if it has fire, I mean, we already got our water wish. Now we're going to get our fire wish. What more can we ask for?
Jake Sully, I thought, was like really good in this movie. I thought Sam Worthington really
yeah.
stepped up.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he was bad in the first movie.
No,
but like he really
right.
he really felt more comfortable. It seemed like, and obviously he's playing like a more comfortable character, being that he was a Navi the whole time versus kind of going in and out of both worlds. So I get that. But at the same time, he's obviously dealing with internal struggle in this movie, and I think it's done really well here. And the way they portray the dad aspect in this movie, I think, is kind of unique in terms of mainstream movies today. I thought they did an excellent job of understanding that, he's not really an asshole. He's just trying to do what's best for his family, and he realizes that because of him, he's created a situation where his kids are in trouble and his family's in trouble. And so it's just they did a really good job of kind of having that conflict, and you actually believe it while it's a freaking alien. Where like it could easily come off as cartoony because he's like, oh, it's a big blue guy with dreadlocks. I don't care about this character, but you do because of the way it's all told and performed and everything, and the fact that the world is so immersive. You just immediately are like, I'm here with this family, and I want them to succeed. So I thought they did a really good job of kind of setting up all the characters in this movie, because they added a lot of new characters, whether people want to admit it or not. And they do a pretty good job with them.
Kate Winslet is in this movie.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because I didn't feel like she did too much.
She doesn't.
But and I was like pretty sure that was Kate Winslet, but I was like, huh.
I could only tell when she was crying.
I should, but then I've been wearing black. I should have worn my Carmela Soprano shirt, because you know what? Edie Falco is in this movie too.
Another audible laugh from the theater when she showed up on screen.
That was literally like one of the best set pieces in the movie, as stupid as that sounds. Like she literally was like, here's this small Edie Falco, and she's on this big wreck machine where she's literally using the wreck machine kind of arms to drink coffee with. And it was just absolutely goated. And it was like a thing that, in the grand scheme of things, you're not necessarily like, I have to get this right. This has to look good because this is the crux of the movie. No, it was just kind of like a nice little off thing where it's like, well, what are the humans doing at this time? Yeah, they were pretty big in the first movie, but they have that also very immersive, where you're just like, obviously it'll probably come into play a little bit down the road in these future movies, but yeah, it was. I wanted a little bit more of that, but also I got plenty of the other stuff, so it didn't bother me at all. It was just a nice little cool side thing.
For sure. Did you hear what she said about this movie?
Yeah, that's funny.
She said that because they made the movie 5 years ago. She assumed that it came out and bombed because she had no idea it was out. Like it was just because I too thought this movie was a myth for a long time. I heard I was just like, oh yeah, Avatar 2, it's coming out, and here it is, and it's glorious.
What did you all think of Spider? I heard that Spider kind of sort of divisive, but at the same time, I kind of dug it.
When he first appeared in the movie, I was like, and then after about like 15 or 20 minutes, I just got used to him. I thought he was good.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a tough task. I think what he was doing, and I thought he pulled it off. Yeah.
The cool thing about it is he's an actual person, so he's kind of juxtaposed with all the avatars and everything, all the Na'vi, and they're obviously freaking giant, and so it's kind of interesting the juxtaposition, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like because of that, it should make the CGI more obvious as like, oh, that's CGI, and like it is because it's a freaking large blue thing. I'm not an idiot, but like at the same time, it looks very real whenever they're interacting with Spider and they're swimming with Spider and they're in the water and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think also just Spider as a character, I mean, he does have some awful lines at the beginning of this movie. I'm not going to act like he doesn't. And it's kind of weird that and maybe it's a part of the growth and this is how it's written, but it's kind of weird that early on in the movie, he kind of says like butthole or poopy butt. And then eventually he says like dumbass and asshole kind of, and it's weird that he kind of says the variations kind of really, but I mean, maybe it's intentional, maybe no one cares, and I don't know. But I get that they're kids, and so the kids do kind of talk like that, which is very weird because they're aliens and not like little human people. That makes sense. I mean, they're not really speaking English, and they're really speaking Na'vi, so it's like, why would the Na'vi have a word for poopy butt? So, but like apparently they do, I guess. But yeah. But that also leads me to another random thing. I did like the way they got away with speaking English the whole movie. Yeah. It was very clever. Like I would have sat through the subtitles because it would have been fair. It made sense because they are Na'vi and that is their language, like the first movie. But they really did a smart thing with like, I'm Jake Sully and I'm a Na'vi now. And I've talked like this all the time. So now it just sounds like English to me. And then it's like, the rest of the movie's in English. It's 3 hours. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Massive population. We're gonna try to make a lot of money.
Big Jim does not want you reading subtitles whenever he's got you underwater. He wants you to look at all the water and all the animals and all the fish and the people and all the bubbles, and it's unbelievable. And some of the mechs that are in this, like there's a new mech that's like a crab. It's so cool. And it moves so cool, and it goes underwater.
The little guy.
So cool. Yeah, the crab thing.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of little details that just are really awesome, but they just don't necessarily get their shine because there's so much shine in this movie. But like every little thing is pretty crazy about this movie. I think I'm like, there's some stupid stuff like saying poopy butt, but like there's not really that much. Like I liked basically everything about this movie pretty much, and I mean, I don't know. I really think this, like, it's obviously getting a lot of praise and hype and stuff, but I really do also kind of feel like it's still a little under the radar, as dumb as that sounds.
I know.
I don't know why.
It was something I was gonna bring up. Because like, I don't know if this movie has the Oscar chances.
The first one had.
Yeah.
Assuming when it came out, yeah.
I don't know. Like I know that people are seeing it and they're eating it up, but is it the same? Are they gonna go there with it? I can't tell.
Not that it needs it because it's gonna make plenty of money and people do seem to like it. I think, but I mean, there also are still plenty of people that just want to go against Avatar, like they did before. And James Cameron is an a-hole and blah blah blah.
Maybe, but the guy can direct a hell of a movie. This is probably like my 6th favorite James Cameron movie, and I love the bulk of them. I mean, like I love this one too. It's dope.
Yeah, I do honestly think that. I mean, I still am working on my year-end list, but I really do think this is one of my favorite movies of the year. Like, it's at least gonna be top 5 for me, which I mean is apparently not that common of an opinion. As crazy as that sounds, seemingly from just kind of looking at year-end list, which isn't a bad thing because there are a lot of good movies this year, and we will find that out later in future videos. What we thought about the year in total, but yeah, I really did like absolutely dig this movie, and I think seeing it in
Mhm.
IMAX just kind of really amps it up for people. I understand. I think in regular dimensions, it would still probably be an awesome
Yeah.
movie. But yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I didn't experience like that, so I get it if maybe that affects
Mhm.
viewing a little bit too. And some people think the 3D and IMAX part of it isn't even worth it.
No,
I'm
I
talking to
think that's
people that
that's
I know.
crazy.
So,
That's the
but,
way to do it, man.
You should definitely
Like-
see it in IMAX and 3D if you can.
Like it's an achievement on its own, but then that just enhances the
Yeah.
experience. And I used to
think-
hate 3D, and I don't hate it. It's just like I only go see a 3D movie if it's like a filmmaker who knows how to use it. And Big Jim,
He basically invented it.
he did. Like honestly, he did.
Avatar: The Way of Water. I
Is that
did say
Navi?
that. It wasn't.
I was gonna say you got the you got the hair going there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little long, but so is this movie.
Yes, actually. But I thought it was earned. I like.
No, I definitely do.
Yeah.
It's the thing people say because it's 3 hours and blah blah blah.
It is 3 hours.
I don't.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me.
Nah,
Although I
man.
was sweating when I was watching it.
Yeah.
Lots of sweats.
Lovely.
Don't know why.
Packed crowd.
Didn't need to know
There were
that.
a lot of people.
But
in
yeah.
there.
Anxiety sweats. I don't know.
The weirdos next to me, I was so confused. 'Cause there were seats next to me that were taken, and then at one point, two of them got up and didn't come back. They left their drinks, and then the rest of them got up and didn't come back. I was
So
like,
weird.
"Are you not entertained? What? What? Did you have somewhere to be? I mean, it's
Yeah.
Avatar. I couldn't understand it. I don't know. Maybe it was all the poopy butt and all that you spoke of. They just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, they really focused
You're right.
on the poopy.
On the poopy
butts.
butt. There's the most gorgeous visuals you'll ever see, but they were just like, poopy butt. I'm out.
He said poopy.
We gotta go.
Avatar: The Way of Poopy Butt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did they get a refund? I don't know. It really confused me.
People are weird.
Yeah, they are. Me too. Who the f-
yeah,
All right, the dead son could have used a little more development.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time,
I also don't
don't know.
really care, but I know I feel like I'm the one who's throwing the holes out there. But
yeah.
but because there's he's got two sons. One of them plays a role, the other one doesn't, and then he dies, and it's just kind of like oh. But also, Neytiri's shrieks. You
Mhm.
can't help but feel emotion when she's going off. I don't know. And that music, it's good.
The queen of motion capture.
She kind of is.
I mean, I didn't think too much of him because he looks just like the other one, so
Right.
it didn't bother me too much.
What is his
But-
name?
Don't know. I
Loak
used to
is
know.
the son. Is the other son.
The one we know.
The one that lives.
You just saw it.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I know. I'm saying that you don't know it either.
No.
Okay, it's fine. Whatever. It's a really impressive movie.
I know the little
And I don't
daughter's
care.
name's Took.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was a beast.
She was.
She's gonna go
She
nuts
was
in the
lovely.
future. It didn't give me a baby Groot, baby Yoda vibe. It was just like, oh, that's a little Navi guy,
Yeah.
and it's a girl, obviously,
She's
but
like, I can't
still,
believe-
it was like a
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't believe we're tied up again. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the handcuffs.
Yeah.
The futuristic handcuffs.
Yeah, and then it's
Dope.
Kitty or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty and Took.
Oh.
I
And
kept thinking it was Kitty, and it turns out it was Curie. And that's Sigourney Weaver's character, who, let me just say, all right, Sigourney Weaver's playing a 16-year-old, 13, 14?
Basically playing a 15, 16
I-
year old.
If you recall, Sigourney Weaver's character in the first movie died, and in this movie, her dead avatar body gave birth. I don't know. But
It's like Awa herself.
we're gonna find out, I guess. Or maybe we're not. Maybe that's the explanation. I don't really know.
I would assume that is, but never know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, the little kid stuff at the end where they're like on the boat and stuff. Anytime an Avatar or a Navi picks up a machine gun, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Always gonna be
And they
Last
did
hour.
that very well here. And the bows and arrows just driving them like right through their freaking hearts
Mhm.
was pretty sick.
The guy's arm.
Nuts.
How that hasn't been mentioned in this video.
I know
so
that
far.
I was gonna make sure we did not say it because
I
it's
know
important.
it's that was a scene And there was a lot of scenes where like I was just like, and when that guy's
What?
arm came off, I was just like,
Yeah, and it was kind of like because they clearly set up that something's gonna happen with the arm because they kind of zoom in on the arm being locked, and you're like, okay, what are they doing here? And then it's like, yeah, we're gonna rip his whole arm off, and it's like, yeah,
yeah,
everybody was going nuts.
it was awesome.
I just didn't think we were gonna go that hard in the second Avatar movie, but we did, and it was delightful. And
Sure was.
yeah, all the naval stuff at the end and everything with the way they rode the sea creatures as juxtaposed with the battleships and everything, and all the unique technology that was incorporated with mining, and somehow the whales had oil that gave eternal life or something. If we want to talk about some silly stuff, but it did. It was kind of
yeah.
It was kind of random at the point of the movie. It was like literally 2.5 hours in, and they're like, we get the oil and it gives us eternal life. How much is it? Not that expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
but I don't know. Maybe they have deflation in the future or something.
What does one of the whales say? He's like, it hurts too much, or it's just too painful, or something.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Beautiful.
James Cameron can sell that. Like, all of this should be really stupid, but I don't like. I thought it was awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, a whale doesn't want to explain its past because it says it's too painful, and you're like, it's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy episode where Billy is trying to get custody of Grim, and he has a big fish, and he's like, it was too painful. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, it was basically that, but it was subtitled, so it wasn't verbalized.
I bet that's where I got the idea.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Like, another one of the rip-offs of James Cameron, First one was Pocahontas, and then this one, it's Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah.
The whole movie was based off of that television program.
Horrible things. I don't want to talk about it. I still wake up every night screaming.
He packages it so well. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, to the point where you don't even care that the characters are literally called Billy and they're not. But there's some other names that we don't remember. But we remember the core people that matter.
Yes, that's right.
And everyone else does too. They just don't want to admit it, I guess.
Jake Sully. I remember that. I only saw the movie like twice, and I remember that. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one.
I know.
But stuck. Yeah. It's
I
not nothing.
can keep up. So that's basically what we thought of the movie. We loved it, and we hope you did too. We hope if you didn't see it, go see it, unless you don't care about this sort of thing, which I understand. But if you care at all, you're going to want to go see this movie in the theater because it's freaking insane, and it's made to be seen in a theater, and preferably IMAX or 3D in my opinion. I get that some people don't like wearing the glasses. I've heard that a lot. But if you have any capacity to do it at all, I think that's the best way to view this. It just makes you feel like you're inside of it and you're on a freaking roller coaster ride for 3 hours while also actually watching a good movie that is clearly crafted to be seen at the cinema.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, if I didn't sound stupid enough, then hopefully you enjoyed this video and enjoyed our kind of little throwing back and forth. Maybe it kind of got your brain going about, what did I think about this? What did I think about that? If you have any additional thoughts that we didn't really cover here that you were kind of curious about or wanted to share with us, that would be appreciated in the comments. If you enjoyed this, then hit the like button, do that subscribe thing. We've done this before couple of times and we plan to do it again. Don't have as many of these long form videos, so if you enjoy these, then let us know. We have the Tar one where we talk about Tar. We have a Halloween Ends one, which people seem to like that we go crazy about it.
Oh, it's a masterpiece.
This was an Avatar experience and we hope you enjoyed. I don't know why I'm still talking.
11 minutes.